Hey guys, it's Sid here with SVT Performance, and as you can see, got a new Mach 1 Mustang. This actually happens to belong to George, owner of MGW shifters. He got this thing basically just to see if you actually want to make a shifter for it, don't you?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to John over at Juggernaut Bowen's Garage. He gave us a great deal on it. Yeah, we're not sure what's going to happen here. It does have the same transmission as the GT350, but we don't know until we get into it if there's actually some slight differences, nuances with the shifter. Same part number, but sometimes that's misleading with Ford. You get it and it's actually a different dash or whatever in it. So we're going to tear it apart in the next couple weeks. We're going to look at it. We've got a bench stand. We'll go in and take a look at that, and we'll show you how the GT350 shifter looks. Pull this one out and see if it's the same in the next couple weeks, and we'll make that decision. But might be a new shifter coming in from MGW here shortly.
Yeah, possible. If there's room for improvement, why not?
Exactly. If there's room for improvement. If there's not, the GT350 one's really good, sells well. So if there's no room for improvement, there's no reason.
Well, let's just take a quick walk around the car. I see the first thing you changed.
Yes, I took the penis stripe off of the hood.
Yeah.
Got some hate for it. Got a lot of love for it, though, actually. I think most people like it better.
Yeah, it looks really clean. So, I mean, you can't complain about it. Either you like it or you don't. Exactly. One thing I've noticed that they've started to add is the provision for the front tow hook. Yep,
and it's actually supposed to be available with the car, but we found that they're not in the car, in the trunk. So we have a call out to Ford to find out if that was an oversight or if they're actually going to be coming in. Maybe there was a, an inventory delay or whatever. They didn't want to delay the cars.
Yeah. Well, that's been the name of the game for, production on just about anything for a while, is production delays on stuff.
And hey, I'd rather have the car. So
yeah,
a tow hook is not going to delay getting the car. I appreciate that.
One of the other things I really like that they've added to the Mach 1 is this little lip on the front tires. That sets it off. It'd be nice if it sort of had one on the back too to match it, but
yeah, the track is wider. It's got wider fronts. I think it has the same offsets and the same tires as the GT350R as far as the widths. So they needed that because it obviously either that or they're going to have to make a wide body, and they decided not to do the wide body. But it looks clean. It's not riveted on. Doesn't look like it has little plastic. It
doesn't look like an aftermarket piece.
It looks good.
Same thing. The splitter looks really nice on it too. It's just a way more aggressive look than just your standard GT.
Yep.
Same thing when you go around to the back.
And this is a handling pack car, so the wing looks, I think it looks excellent on this car.
Yeah, it looks really good. And of course you had to get your MGW logo on it.
That's right. We actually had Ford paint that from the factory, so it looks good.
Yeah, factory option. You guys didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the GT. It's a blend of GT and GT350.
It is.
GT350
I like it in the street manners over the GT350 because the Coyote motor, the way they tune it, it's got better torque down low. It obviously doesn't have the roar in the pickup at the GT350 at the high end, but tooling around town, I actually prefer it. To me, it feels like a good combination of a Boss 302, Laguna Seca, and a GT350. That's the best way to describe this car. Yeah. John at Bowen's Garage put on I asked him to put a Resonator Delete on the car. That's the only modification of the car. It sounds really good. Didn't want to get it too loud, but I wanted it to just sound a little throatier.
And walk around and just take a look at the interior. They didn't make a ton of changes on the interior. You got the Recaro package. Of course, you get Mach 1 seal plates, and on the dash, see, this one's number 1459. But yeah.
And I like the old school shift knob. Although I do not like the pull-up collar. It looks cheesy with that white classic ball like that. It needs to have a proper type muscle car shift knob shaft, so we're going to do something real nice for it.
That's one of the things that George and the guys are known for, is they switch all this from the pull-up for reverse to push down for reverse, like the original MT82
right, like the 11 to 14 cars. I like it. There's some customers we lost because they prefer that, so it is what it is, but I just prefer the push down. I think it looks better and functions better.
I agree. I'm not a huge fan of the pull up for reverse either. I'll pop the hood on it real quick.
Sure. We also do have a carbon fiber hood from the GT500 from Anderson Composites coming that should look really nice with the car. Save some weight as well.
So anybody who's familiar with our Bullet reviews, this is essentially the same engine as the Bullet. 5-liter, has the GT350 intake manifold, intake track, throttle body, all that good stuff. And you've probably heard me rave many times on this particular engine setup in these cars. I really like it. It feels way different than a GT, than your standard GT car.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't have that intense push at the red line that the GT350 does. But to me, the trade-off of having that additional low-end torque, it's like funny, I don't know if you guys look back on one of Travis's videos. I actually had a GT350 stock at VIR, and he had a modded EcoBoost Mustang, and we did a roll, was it third gear?
Yeah.
At about 30 miles an hour, and the EcoBoost destroyed the GT350.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It just took a while to get it rolling. It was funny.
The GT350 as a track car is phenomenal because you get up in that rev range.
And you stay up there.
And you're
not going to be down to 2,000 or 3,000 RPMs. If you are, you're not shifting properly.
And to be fair, Ford did mess around with the tuning on the GT350 in the later models, so they fattened up the torque curve a little bit on the bottom end and made those cars a lot better to drive on the street than like the I think you had a 16.
Right.
And, but on the street, this thing makes way more torque than that 350 did down low, and
down low,
and makes it a more fun streetable car. I like it. I think it's great. And like you said, let's go take a look at the transmission you have on the stand and see what you guys have in store, possibly.
All right, so here's the GT350 trans we've had, several years old, so don't mind the dust and dirt. This is a GT350 shifter, actually. I'm sorry, this is actually one that we pulled the VIN on our Mach 1, and this is the part number that was sent for Ford Performance Parts. However, we're still going to verify. We're going to pull the actual shifter out of the Mach 1 and make sure it's identical. But comparing this to the one that was in our GT350, this factory piece is the same. They made a few modifications, evolutionary changes to the factory shifter, but it's still got some of the same issues. As you can see, they've got some rattle issues with the reverse spring. They stuffed some, looks like foam sponge material in there.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we really found with the factory one is, if you see this, is even though this is completely tight, you just have a lot of play there. So that's one of the things we got rid of with the GT350 shifter. What we're going to find out, what we're going to try to do is, one of the challenges we had with the GT350 shifters was the inherent vibration from that flat plane crank motor. Not nearly as much vibration out of the Mach 1 motor. It's a standard Coyote cross plane crank, so maybe we can make some different designs on that shifter that aren't so NVH sensitive. If we do, we may actually offer alternative to the GT350 shifter for guys that, you know, do a lot of racing and don't really care about, you know, street manners.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, looks pretty good. And like you said, this is what Ford sent you, saying this is the Mach 1 shifter.
Yes, we pulled our actual VIN off of our Mach, and John over at Bowen's Garage ordered this right off of the Ford website.
Yeah, but nothing will prove that until you actually take the
exactly. We want to see
apart.
What's in the Mach 1 right now, so we'll take it out this week and find out for sure.
Yep, well, that's awesome. Thanks for showing us the Mach 1, George, and we'll see what you guys come up with. Look forward to seeing it, and we'll come back down next time you start pulling the thing out and be here when you do that.
Sounds good.